Okay, we are going to go live and start we are now live. Welcome. Hi. Welcome to the premiere of Evolved Love Connections. Are we going? Are we there? Hi. There we are. Oh, I'm your host, Debbie Armond Palmer, and this is my beloved husband, Dave. Evolved Love Connections is a concept that I have been evolving for over a decade. I am a born connector. I love cultivating and creating community and love for myself and others. And I am I am hearing myself on Facebook, and this is driving me crazy. Anyway, over the years, I have manifested a huge network of incredible souls that bring so much depth and richness to my life. I'm hearing a playback, and that is driving me nuts. Pausing that. Okay. I don't know how this is supposed to work. Oh, let's just turn this down. There we go. So, collectively, these people have huge body of knowledge and wisdom that wants to be shared. So Evolved Love Connections has been created as a platform to bring this magic to you in the form of live stream broadcasts. Every other week, we are going to be interviewing today's most relevant cutting edge professionals and awakened luminaries as they share and expand their knowledge to you to increase your consciousness, explore your edges, and enhance your relationships. We will examine a multitude of topics with various professionals as we dive into ways to deepen the love and joy in your lives. You will learn how to love yourself more, embrace better communication skills, feel confident in asking for what you want, need, and desire in all parts of your life. Gain your heart, mind, body, soul connection. Learn how vulnerability can open new doors to incredible intimacy. Examine elements of healthy relationships. Awaken new pathways to joy and pleasure. Discuss new approaches to dating. Increase your intuition and connect with your spirit guides. Find your passion and ignite your innermost potential. And have fun doing it. Again, I'm Debbie Armond Palmer. And at 63, I am living my best life yet. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I was born with the cord wrapped around my neck. I had no voice or no choice growing up. I was the oldest daughter of 7 children and was thrown into responsibility at a very young age, being mommy's little helper. My dad was a very controlling and commanding man who really never honored women. My mom didn't have a voice either. I met my first husband when I was 17. Married him at 25. A beautiful Brazilian man with charming, commanding presence. I adored him. He was my knight in shining armor, taking me away from this chaotic family scene and bringing me into a life of adventure, shift, and change. I adored him. I adored him. We dove into the unknown at every turn. Along our roller coaster marriage, we were gifted with 2 beautiful daughters, but also endured a lot of loss, including both my parents, a brother and sister in their 40s, 2 heart attacks, and a miscarriage 3 weeks after 2 of his brothers committed suicide. Life was never dull. For years, we worked together on his entrepreneurial ideas. They never lasted more than a couple of years because he grew bored quickly. And we started to grow apart in the late 90s when I established my own career and finally started to find my voice. For the first time in my life, I felt safe enough to express my opinion, which was not well received. Neither one of us was happy. He was cheating. I was done being told what to do. And our marriage ended up crumbling in 2005, ending up in a bankruptcy for me. But I walked away with my pride, my self-respect, my freedom, and my voice. I remember my mom calling me the day I left, telling me how proud she was of me for doing what she never had the courage to do. You see, I ended up marrying my dad, as so many of us do. Following that, I went a little wild, don't we all, after a divorce? I had fun. I wanted to experience everything that I missed. After all, I never really dated. So I had some fun for a few years. And then in 2010, I had this really beautiful dream of awakening when I experienced oneness and connection. I realized that I needed to shift my thinking and my life. I innately knew that I wanted and needed community and connection to expand my world. So I moved to a new town and started creating the life of my dreams. I explored so many things: spirituality, metaphysics, astrology, self-love, shamanism, the power of nature, my creativity, meetup groups, past life regressions, women's circles, women's empowerment weekends, plant medicine, and shadow work. Shadow work. Poof. That's the tough stuff. That's the part where I found my voice, truly found my voice. I learned that I am enough and that I do deserve it all. I forgave my parents, unwound sexual trauma, let go of what didn't serve me anymore, grieved my losses, healed ancestral lineage, learned to love myself, truly love and accept myself, enhance my intuition and my connection to my higher self. And in doing so, I was able to stretch beyond the limits of my existence and open my vision wider to access new neural pathways that guided me to a more loving and open heart, more vulnerability, and a greater understanding of the power of manifestation, faith, and love. I learned to really be happy with myself and love myself without the need for being in a relationship with others. In 2018, after a series of several beautiful but short-term relationships, each teaching me something that I needed to know, I was offered a chance to be a part of this workshop, a program that a woman was putting together to help people, to help women find their beloved. She asked me to be part of her beta program. I wasn't doing anything else at the time, so I said yes. 16 weeks later, after a very deep dive into all sorts of areas, my journey ended on a mountaintop experience where I laid down my prayers to the universe to call him in. I just knew he was on his way. I just trusted that the universe would bring me that right person when the time was right. 3 months later, in walks this man. So let's stop here for a moment and let's introduce again Dave Palmer, my beloved husband. Dave, why don't you give us some background on how you ended up at that fateful day where we met?
Well, my transformation and personal growth began in 2014 as I was transforming out of being vanilla Dave. My late wife and I started attending the Center for Spiritual Living and Science of Mind, and it opened myself to spirituality and oneness in a new and vibrant, happier lifetime and existence. I obtained knowledge of awareness and compassion, understanding and acceptance, the laws of attraction, and abundance, and how much we have. I began exploring into knowledge of my true self and my higher self. And I became more loving.
Mhm.
It transformed my life by challenging the way I thought. And by changing a thought, I became a great manifester. I applied the power of intentions rather than goal setting, and allowed spirit to act upon those intentions as I put them forward. I cultivated recognition of and trust of my intuition. I began to live a spirited, guided life, more optimistic, more happy, and more accepting. I saw the oneness of all things. I began to see the gifts that are given to us by everybody who's around us. I recognized and acted upon opportunities that Spirit presented to me. And by recognition, knowing that there was something there, I stepped into them. Knowing that there would be, I didn't know what was there, but I stepped in to receive that. In 2017, my loving wife of 39 years made her transition a completion of her soul's journey in this human expression. And after a pause, I took notice of my inner intuitions and began my own expressive expansion. Now, knowing myself to be a commitment guy, it's true. It's true. and that life and life's experiences are best when shared.
Mhm.
I set out to locate my next life partner. Yes,
Mhm.
I set intentions. I identified what that relationship would look like and how I would feel in that relationship. I took lessons in tantric practices where I learned very much about how to make love to a woman.
You got an A.
I experienced deeper intimacy by expressing my vulnerability.
Mm.
I attended tantric events. I listened to my intuition, feelings, and responses when entering possible partnerships. I took on an active awareness and discernment, learning, analyzing, understanding what worked, what didn't, what applied, and out of each I would grow into a greater fulfillment of who I was and a discernment of what I desired in
Mhm.
the relationship. But mostly I took action. I stepped in. I was encouraged by friends to attend the Mankind Project's new warrior training adventure. And I did it. I opened my heart and my vulnerable self in men's circles. I was encouraged to attend the Human Awareness Institute's Level 1 Connection in Love workshop. And I did. And all of that prepared me for the loving life that I share with Debbie today.
Hmm.
And that has made all the difference.
So that's where we met in the fall of 2018. Human Awareness Institute, HI for short, Level 1. The workshop was called Connecting in Love. And the way Dave tells the story is just so sweet. I'm just going to let him tell.
The workshop began on Friday night with dinner at 6 o'clock, and then the first evening, of engagement comes after that. I stepped back before dinner into the registration room, and 20 feet away, I see this beautiful woman. Caught my eye. I have got to meet that woman. And I walked right over, and we had a 10-minute conversation before dinner. I have absolutely no recollection of what we talked about.
Neither.
We sat down, had dinner together at a table with others, totally engrossed in each other. And here I left out the best part. Before I went to HI, I was counseled 3 things. Dave, you're going to be asked to choose a buddy, choose a woman, and choose early. So we had dinner. We had engrossing conversation. As Debbie's getting up to leave the table, I asked her, Debbie? And she paused and turned around looking at me and said, yes. I said, Debbie, would you be my buddy? And she said, yes, having no idea what a buddy was. But the rest is history.
Well, by the time the weekend was over, it's like, what the hell just happened? I just met the man I'm going to marry. I didn't have any way to think that I would ever get married again. I was hopeful that maybe I'd, meet a man and we'd have a loving relationship and we'd be partners for life, but I didn't ever expect to get married again. It's like, wow. We each drove home in awe, literally calling people going, oh my God, this is just what happened. Knowing that our lives were about to collide in the most spectacular way. The most spectacular way. So a couple days later, Tuesday, Dave decides he's going to come see me.
So I was on business in Long Beach. I checked out of the hotel at 10:30 at night. I'd been on the phone with Debbie and I said, hey, wild idea. Why don't I just drive up right now?
So he gets there at 1 in the morning. We spend all night long talking. And by the morning, we were talking about our wedding. It's like, what the hell? So we dove into fun. Oh my God. In the first year, we went wild. Concerts,
Plays,
weekend trips,
more workshops,
3 more workshops at High, music festivals,
Tantra trainings and events.
World Fest Music Festival, our first camping trip together.
I took Debbie to New York, to Boston, to the Berkshires.
Puerto Vallarta. Oh my God. And then Dave says, I want to go to Burning Man. This is vanilla Dave. It's like, okay, if you want to go, I have rules. So I made him
What were your
get an
conditions?
RV,
Yeah.
electric bikes, and it's like costumes. So we went, and oh my God, Dave just expanded even more,
Even after I bought.
even after he fought. So on the way home from Burning Man,
Driving that 32-foot RV the first time in my life.
Dave asked me to move in.
I did. I suggested that would really be a good thing.
So that was January of 2020 when I moved in here in Encinitas. And, you know, we melted. We just melted together. We made love every day. We acted like teenagers. We feathered our nest and created this temple of melted bliss.
More important than anything, we set our intentions solidly in of what our home and ourselves and what our relationship was going to be.
We wrote these down. We had a ceremony to really set them in. And we lived by those intentions.
And all during COVID set in just 2 months after Debbie moved in. But through COVID, we thrived by connecting to community here in San Diego, by expanding our vision of what the Evolved Connections could and ultimately has become. And it goes beyond the website and this broadcast. It's our home as a venue for hosting community events.
So when COVID hit, my career, my 20 plus year as a career as a flower broker just died a quick, painless death because every event in 2020 was canceled. And, you know, I've always had issues with maintaining my sovereignty, taking care of me first, never allowing anyone to take care of me again, never being dependent on anyone except myself. That had been ingrained in me since I was 10 years old. So when Dave said, I got you, it took 6 months for me to unravel all that masculine energy that I had held for all those years. It took 6 months for me to really allow myself to take a breath, to sit in nature, to dive into what my femininity was and really access my creativity and just allow myself to be fully embodied in my feminine. It's so beautiful. It allowed us to step into intimacy at such a deeper level with so much more trust and vulnerability. When we got married in September of last year, even more unraveled. I mean, stress and trauma that I didn't even know my body held started just unwinding from my body. It was profound and just really beautiful. I'm so grateful for this man.
I've got you. I've got you.
So Dave,
Yeah.
how has your life changed in the last 3 years?
Oh my goodness. I live life in this delicious bubble of unconditional love.
It is.
It is.
It is. Truly.
I grew my hair long for the first time in my life. Now it started with Burning Man. But I've expanded my boundaries through experiences that I thought I never dreamt of having. I stepped out of my linear, rigid, analytical engineering, vanilla Dave self into open-minded connection and flexibility and acceptance in conscious living. It's just been wonderful. I made a conscious decision to live experientially, to expand myself by experiencing things. I've become more present.
Yes.
More living in the moment. I continue, and this is a process, to explore and ask and answer the question, what does Dave want?
What does Dave want?
As an individual. It's a process, believe me.
And it's hard for him.
It
because
is.
he doesn't know what he wants because he's lived his life in service to others. Lived his life in service to others and really never got to explore what does Dave want. So I challenge him
all the time.
All the time. What does Dave want? And it's a continuous exploration.
I do navigate though by identifying and pursuing what brings me joy.
Yeah.
Those sometimes govern my choices of what I decide to do. I'm actively involved and supportive in growth of our conscious community here in San Diego. And I've released into trust and love.
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
I am thriving, and this is probably the real key. I'm thriving in a relationship of honest, fearless, open communication. Rather than dreading talking about things, Debbie and I express.
Yeah.
Put it out there. I don't have a fear of a rejection or of a reaction and then have to deal with the reaction rather than the inquiry. We can talk about and do talk about everything. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
So let's talk. Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk.
More talk.
Let's talk a little bit about some of these expansive experiences that we've had in the last few years that have really enriched our relationship. Gatherings and integrations in the Tantra community. For those of you that don't know what Tantra is, there's so many definitions. There's two that I really love. One is the art of loving yourself. And the other is merging heaven and earth in your body.
It's
an energetic connection to life, then love that is all centered in your heart. So that community just really opened up so much expansion for us. The San Diego conscious community is huge. And we are so grateful that they welcomed us with open arms. And they have asked us, we need you. Please do events. Please open up your home. We need loving leaders to help us move forward. So we've stepped into that. We went back to high, level 2,
Level 3.
and level 4.
Yeah.
We may do level 5 this year because they're finally coming back after COVID.
We've enjoyed that as an expansion, both of our own awareness and our own intimacy. It's
a beautiful organization.
It is. It is.
We've attended active listening, authentic relating, and team training workshops to staff at workshops like this.
We're stepping into exploring our edges, our boundaries.
We've done week-long trainings with incredible facilitators such as Monique Darling, Kathleen Cienfuegos, Lawrence Lanoff, in sacred shamanism and sacred sexuality, opening up and learning how to control your chakra systems and energy flow, and really diving into the depth of vulnerability, honesty, and love, self-love, most of all.
And the link between spirituality and sexuality.
Absolutely. We've done sound healings, breath work, Reiki training, Qigong, meditation, ceremonies,
ecstatic dance.
Ecstatic dance. We've created circles, community circles. I have a women's circle down here in Encinitas now there's 35 women that belong.
And I was challenged by a wonderful shamanic woman to create my own men's circle. And we've been meeting for over a year. And I never envisioned that in my future.
Talk about stepping out of his box. And that's what we do to each other, for each other, is we challenge each other to grow, to expand, to find our edges and step beyond that to see how expansive can our world get. In doing all of this, we've learned so many incredible tools that have helped us deepen this amazing relationship. So we'd like to share some of these tools with you. I mean, obviously, a lot of them are common, okay? But these are the ones that we have found that have really added to the incredible depth and connection of our relationship. First and foremost, love. And our love, it's so amazing and so unconditional. I never thought that I would really ever be able to unconditionally love anybody other than my children. Because I always wanted to, but there were always things in the way.
And it's so yummy.
So,
Yeah.
desire and commitment are the next most important things that we have found. You have to desire the relationship and commit to really making it work.
The foundation for that is trust. Trust in your partner. Trust that they have your best interest in mind as well as their own. And be open and honest in your daily dealings, in your communication, and expressing exactly what you want. One of the gifts that we have is that I wake up every morning in deep, deep gratitude,
Mm.
not only
Mm.
for our world, but for this wonderful woman.
Gratitude is you have to have gratitude. Without it, the universe doesn't shine its light on you. Be grateful for everything in your life. Say thank you and mean it.
Mhm.
Intimate, vulnerable communication. And as Dave said, without fear of judgment, criticism, or reaction. You have to be able to speak your truth. You have to be able to ask what you want, need, and desire at all levels, whether it's what you want for dinner, what you want in bed, or what you need to be happy. Speak your truth.
And then accepting those requests of your partner, honoring them as best you can. Yeah, it's sometimes that's a negotiation. Sometimes there's some compromises, but that goes back to your commitment and to your desire for a fulfilling relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Regular check-ins.
Dave and I learned this. Where did we learn regular check-ins? Where did we learn the check-in? It is so powerful. So we try to, well, we do this all the time, but we try to do it at least once a week, where we actually sit down and stop everything else, look into each other's eyes and check in. Breathe. Just look at each other. Really dive in. Hold hands. Breathe. And just
let your partner know what's going on. What
check in.
Yeah.
How's your week going?
Yeah.
What's going on in your world? Do you need support this week? How can I support you? How can I make your life flow easier? What's going on with me? Am I feeling needy this week? Do I need some extra TLC? Do I need some alone time? Am I going through a rough patch and I just need you to hold space for me while I do that? It's important. Really dive into those deep vulnerabilities and be radically honest with your partner. It is so powerful.
Absolutely. But it's got to be fun.
Oh
too.
yeah, well, it's fun.
It's
And
fun.
you know, check-ins can lead to all sorts of fun things.
I think we've got a date night set for tonight, don't we?
We always have date nights.
Yep.
We love our date nights.
Once a week.
We have so much fun. We get creative. Get creative with your date nights. There's all sorts of fun things you can do.
We even invented an entire game
During
COVID of surprises in the form of Easter eggs.
We put fun little things to do on slips of paper inside Easter eggs. And every morning we would pick an egg. And it's like, oh, what are we going to do tonight?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they ranged from
Soup to nuts.
Dessert in the hot tub to wild, passionate, whatever. And we're keeping this light today, so we're not going to say whatever. But we had fun. We have fun. We set up scenes. It's like, oh, my cousin's coming to visit. She has red hair and she wears this, and she likes to play games, or she likes to go out dancing, or you know, so make it fun, keep it exciting.
Yeah. Be inventive, be creative.
Be flirtatious.
And this woman is the most creative person I have ever met in so many ways,
So honor and accept each other for who you are and what you bring to this planet, what you bring to the relationship.
One thing I've really grown into is also being open to receive information and totally different things. Debbie's introduced me to love languages and astrology and all kinds of things, that the depth, the crystals, the strength in crystals. And I'll be honest, I don't absorb all of this, but the significance of occurrences through reading of tarot cards that come to immediate confirmation. I mean, so it's good to, rather than dismiss, see if there's something there that your partner has or loves or engages with. There might be something to advance yourself by understanding and finding out a little bit about it.
And finding out a little bit about your partner, a little bit deeper things about your partner that maybe can give you a better idea of how can I satisfy his love language rather than just know my own, you know, how to love him more.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
By understanding her and what she relates to, what she desires, helps me become that much more attentive and much more that loving.
Share your dreams, share your fantasies. Get involved, find your passion.
Live your passion.
Live your passion.
Mhm.
Get social, have friends, go have fun, go dancing, create parties, keep it fresh,
And
laugh.
And wherever you are, find a group or couples or that are like-minded, and cultivate that friendship, those relationships, that community, wherever you may be, so that there's a connection, so that there's integration, so that there's mutual support and understanding among like-minded folks.
And also remember not to lose yourself in the relationship. Remember who you are. Stay in your sovereign being and really stand tall in who you are as a person. Be courageous and fearless in that expression of yourself, and love yourself first and foremost, because without that, everything will crumble.
The term I put on that is always be your authentic self, also in your relationship, in the home, at work, but be your authentic self. And that takes some time to find and identify and be consistent with.
Absolutely.
But authenticity is also something that is the attraction. You want a prospective partner, if you're a single looking for something, meet them in your authenticity. Not an artificial, a shroud, if you will, of what you think they'll desire. Or no, this is me. Stand in your truth, stand in your integrity, and have them meet you where you really are.
That's what's really sexy. Yeah, just standing in who you are and being the best you that you can be every day. And just be love, be loving, and maintain a passionate commitment to grow, learn, and expand. Always. Never get dull.
Keep it fresh.
That's right.
Keep it fresh.
Absolutely.
And if either individual senses that things are getting a little mundane,
Slap them around a little. That can be fun too. I love you so much. So those are just a few of our tips and tools, and I'm going to actually post that that list on our private Facebook group. So, gosh, we're so grateful.
Yes, we are.
I'm so grateful for this beautiful man. And to give you a little bit of history about how we became who we are and our path along those lines.
And how we stay the way we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just gets better, amazingly enough. So we're so grateful that you chose to spend this time with us today. Dave and I are both available for individual coaching or couples coaching if that's something that you would like to help you create the life of your dreams. Please reach out in that regard if you want personal assistance with that goal. We just launched our website, evolvedconnections.com. Please check it out. And we are going to be putting up some new events very quickly here.
There's a calendar on that website.
There is. There's also a, you can add your email to our mailing list if you'd like to be notified of things going on at our beloved Pleasure Palace, the Palmer Pleasure Palace Resort and Spa, which is where we live in beautiful Encinitas. So I want to let you know who we have coming up on the show next. Next week, we have Monique Darling, who is one of the most beautiful women I know. She has a heart of gold. She is a facilitator extraordinaire. She has helped me expand in so many ways, and I love her dearly. She's going to be sharing with us next Tuesday at 2. Then Dave and I head to Austin to attend a week-long training called Awaken as Love, which is a deep dive into Tantra, shamanism, integral theory, and spiral dynamics with a very beautiful man named James Stevenson. So following that training, we will be chatting with James to find out all about his program and when he's going to be bringing it here to California in the fall. Then in May, we'll be interviewing Catherine McClelland and Wayne Marshall, who are a beautiful power couple that have developed the love intelligence system. Following,
that should be interesting.
Oh yeah, no, they're a really beautiful couple. Claudia Sasse will join us also. Claudia is an intuitive soul path and expansion guide, a happiness coach, and an energy activator. She is just wonderful. You will adore her. Then other amazing humans that we have on our schedule: Hadia Haig, a life coach, counselor, and spiritual teacher helping you to become the best version of yourself. Kelly Schwagel, an intuitive force of nature who can tap into your guides, help you heal old wounds, and activate the connection with your higher self. And then in July, we have Hema Lassa, the holistic mystic, a powerful, loving woman who helps clients release their blocks to help them thrive, teaches mindfulness, somatic connection, abundance mindset, intimacy and relationship coaching, and so much more. Hema travels the world doing incredible workshops, and we are so gifted to have her as a guest on our show. So let us know what you want to learn, how you'd like to expand. We are here to serve you. We have such an expansive network of incredible individuals that we're connected with, and we want to help them share their knowledge, their wisdom with all of you. Evolved connections can help you grow and enhance your daily life. So join us. Join our private Facebook group and check out our new website at evolvedconnections.com. Add your name to our mailing list today for notifications of future events. And remember, above all, be love. Yeah. We love you all. We know we had some hiccups with our first broadcast, but we are just so thrilled to start this. And there isn't anyone that I could have started it with except this beautiful man. And with us on Zoom right now is the beautiful woman that married us.
There she is.
There she is, Miss Clarissa Fishman.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
I unfortunately jumped on late. I was in a meeting and it went over. But I'm glad I get to see you now.
Yes, we love you so much.
Love you. So happy to see this happening.
Yes. Okay, well, we are going to stop our live broadcast and we are going to